I've always gotten my hands dirty, sometimes cut, but I've always come out at least as a better person than before the experience. Some of our members once called Ashwa Racing as the day of his dirty jeans. And he had a joke that if you have to clean your hands before going to the restroom, understand that it's been a good day at the workshop. So that's what we call our recruitment PPT, which is basically your experience and your days of getting your hands dirty, having experiences, and in the process building an occasional race car. I will start off with a video that was done by us in 2013. It covers the journey of one of our teams that went to Italy and starts right from building the race car to the race in Italy in around 2.5 minutes. So before we even bore you with our slides or before we even do anything, the intent of the video is to give you a complete introduction to everything we do at Ashwa. Hope you like that. We are going to start out with the main presentation now. And we tried to keep this short. We know you're on a short timeline and we tried to keep this very concise, very straight to the point as to what we do in Ashwa Racing, what you can do in Ashwa Racing and what Ashwa Racing will eventually put you in life or what Ashwa Racing will do for you. We're going to start out with what Ashwa Racing is, then going to explain to you what Formula SA or the international student racing series that we participate in is, follow into a discussion about the entire Ashwa Racing community, the students as well as the alumni, the sponsors and everyone else who's been with Ashwa Racing for the past 10 years. We'll also explain to you how our legacy has evolved over the past decade. And then we're going to go into explaining how your relationship with Ashwa Racing is going to be. As a member, maybe as an alumni or across your 4 years, if you join the project, how you are going to interact with people in Ashwa Racing, what you're going to do day to day, what modules you're going to work in no matter which branch you belong in. And frankly, in my 10 years, one thing that I've learned is every single branch has a place in racing. Ashwa Racing is like a company before you finally join a company. We're not that professional, we don't have legal contracts, or we don't have any kind of very strong accountability that bonds you. But this is where you're going to learn about the accountability and about the challenges you're going to face when you go out to the world. And then we're going to discuss your career progression across your 4 years, first, second, third, and then your final year. And then we're going to tell you all the facts that you're going to face, or you're going to, your mission, if you choose to accept it, it's a little corny. I've picked it up from Mission Impossible. And then finally, the lighter notes. We also have a lot of fun in Ashwa Racing. If somebody has seen our third flyers or anything, the stuff we do. And then we're going to, and then Raj's going to take over and explain to you how we're going to go forward with the recruitment. Shobit, by the way, is our head of marketing. He started out in Ashwa Racing in his first year, and today he's presenting in front of you.
Okay, good afternoon, guys. I will basically be telling you a little bit more about Ashwa Racing. Okay, Ashwa Racing is India's finest Formula SAE team. Okay, we rub shoulders with the best. So, coming a little bit of the history of Ashwa Racing. Ashwa Racing was started way back in the year 2003 over a simple cup of coffee. Over the years, the team has grown leaps and bounds. The team has been in existence for about 12 years, and we have produced 15 prototype race cars. We were ranked as the best Formula Student team in India, and in fact in Asia, between the years 2003 and 2012. And recently, we are the third best. At the event, there are two separate sets of events. One is your static events, and the other is your dynamic set of events. And we have established ourselves as, in all our events, we come within the top 15% of the cost presentation and the business plan presentation. Very recently, Ashwa Racing took part in the Formula Hybrid event, and we placed ourselves as 7 out of a total of 17 teams internationally. We were also the only Indian, in fact Asian team to have cleared the pre-technical inspection. Now the 3 big pillars of Ashwa Racing, the 3 big C's. Your country, your commitment, and your competence. Your country at the end of the day is what you represent at your international event. Okay, apart from representing your college, the bigger picture is that you as an individual are representing your country. Commitment. Working for Ashwa Racing requires a hell lot of commitment. Be it your vacations, be it your, working after college. So yeah, that is another main pillar. And comrades. Apart from very, very serious work at Ashwa Racing, and apart from building race cars, one critical thing that we build is relationships. Okay, you build friends for life. Someone who you can call on, rely on at any given point of time. Okay, now I'll give you a little bit, more information about what the competition is all about. The competition that Ashwa Racing takes part in is called the Formula SAE, where the SAE stands for the Society of Automotive Engineers. So this competition has 14 legs, which are distributed over 5 continents of the world. There's North America, there's one which is happening in Russia, there's one in China, there's Australasia. In Europe, we have about 4 or 5 competitions, so on and so forth. So there are about 1,200 teams all across the globe. From the best universities. MIT, Stuttgart. Everyone makes a Formula style race car. And the Formula student community as of now is 20,000 strong. There are 20,000 individuals all across the globe who are working for Formula student. Now, being such a huge exercise, it obviously needs a lot of funding. So the Formula student, as a community, is funded by several large corporates. A few big ones that you can already identify. Be it Honda, BMW, Shell, Volkswagen, Ferrari. So there are about 1,000 such sponsors which are pooling it $1.7 billion into the project. That's a billion with a capital B. So that's the magnitude of the Formula student project. Okay. Now, the Formula student will provide all you budding engineers an excellent opportunity to develop your engineering skills. Okay. So the competition, what basically happens is that university students from all across the globe build a Formula style prototype and compete at the event. Okay. The prototypes are evaluated as being a production item for amateur race cars. Okay. So to explain to you what it is all about is that the problem statement says that you're building a race car, a 600cc Formula style race car for an amateur racer. Okay. So how would you go about that? So that's basically the underlying fundamental principle of Formula student. Your car is judged on 3 critical parameters. One is like its speed and reliability. Second is your design and your construction, and your third is the business strategy. Because at the end of the day, if your product is not marketable, then I mean, it really adds no value. So the Formula SE represents the pinnacle of motorsport for the student community. I mean, there's no bigger racing project or an engineering project that an engineering student can undertake. Okay. The Formula SE, apart from designing race cars and everything else, it teaches you how to deal with real life situations. You're working in a team, you're going to an international event, life is going to throw 150 things at you. Okay, so it's going to teach you how to deal with situations. So, as I said, we've produced 15 prototypes. So over the last 10 years, this is the rich legacy of Ashwa Racing. I mean, Ashwa Racing has produced so many cars that I couldn't even fit it in one slide. Okay, so 10 cars, 10 years and 10 glorious years and 12 cars. So for the remainder part of the presentation, Siddharth will brief you.
Does anybody feel you're going too fast? You got everything about what Ashwa Racing is. In a very nutshell, for the last 3-4 slides or whatever has been through, we are a team of people, students, alumni, sponsors even, as well as faculty who together build a race car, take it abroad to races, both in India as well as abroad, and race it with other universities. And like Formula 1, the student Formula 1 is called Formula SA or Formula Student. And now I'd really get to the business end of our presentations, why we are here. The community of Ashwa Racing, as I repeated to you before, includes alumni, sponsors, you guys, obviously, faculty, and a lot of other things. And those of you who are going to join are going to spend almost the entire 4 years working for us. It is going to be a day and night job, and it requires daily interaction with alumni across the world. If you start work, for example, tomorrow, you will be interacting with me at least once a week. You will be interacting with people in Europe, where most of our events take place once a month or twice or thrice a month. You will be validating your designs with people from US or Europe or alumni who are there who validate all the designs once a month, twice a month, depending on how well you are doing your work. So the steering committee, that's a group of alumni students, and which I head, kind of facilitates and makes sure all you guys have your bases covered. And this is something we have started this year. We guide you on prep tests, whether it's your GRE or GMAT. Whenever you're giving your prep test in your 4th year, most of us have given it. Most of us have gone abroad after giving the GRE, TOEFL, or whatever the hell that is required, even German language tests. So we make sure you get the right kind of advice when it comes to staging your prep tests. Okay. We also guide you with MS and MBA studies abroad. This includes, I don't know how many of you actually want to go do your MBA, but in a place like Bangalore or in India, everybody wants to do an MBA after engineering. So if that is what you're looking at, if you want to do your MS abroad or MBA abroad, whether it's a couple of years after your engineering, after some of our work experience, or it's immediately after engineering, we have alumni who've done the same, who have done their masters in Germany, who have done their masters in US, Australia, and depending on which university you want to get into, there is an Ashwa alumni who's already gotten there, and he will do his best to make sure you write your SOP. The third thing is employment. You guys are investing a lot of money in engineering to get a job. If you're not doing your MS or MBA, you are doing it to get a job. And sometimes it happens that people don't land a job out of the placements in college. We make sure, and this has always happened, none of our team members at the end of 4 years stays unemployed without his choice. If he wants to do his own thing and not get a job altogether, it's a different thing, but we will place you with one of our sponsors. Our alumni will make sure you're placed with one of our sponsors. It's never happened. My point of mentioning directly the 4th year stuff to you is, the point of doing all this to you is to tell you that we know what your parents expect of you, what your college expects of you, and the fact that you're going to be spending a lot of time in Ashwa Racing. None of your other academic pursuits or anything you want to do after your engineering will suffer. You will only end up as a stronger person. These are some of the people, some of the companies which our alumni have worked for. I have selected one out of each field. We have somebody who's in Cisco who's just been placed. We have people working for Texas Instruments, all of the, we have people working for National Instruments, I mean, instrumentation, all the electronic companies have people from Ashwa. We have people working in Bosch. Bosch Germany hired one of our guys straight out of college without even an MS or without anything, gave him a salary in euro. We have people working for Mercedes-Benz in Germany as well as here, and they will be available if you want some guidance. We have somebody working in Honda, both in New Delhi as well as in Japan. And the point of having this slide right up front for you is that after you do Ashwa, after you finish, this is where you're going to go. So everything in the slides after this is the journey to the slides. And whether it's marketing or anything else, we always believe that we will be genuine with you as to what we can offer. And in return, we will need your hard work. And when I say hard work, it's going to be, you're going to tear your jeans, you're going to have days when you cry. There have been days when I have cried, and your life is going to be I mean, if I call it a roller coaster, it's actually a very small example. We have had experiences which have, I mean, I don't think you will get them. It's like a reality show. At times, it is like a reality show, and the things are a lot more real than what you see on TV. We have had to clear cargo at 4 o'clock in the night in a suburb of New Jersey, which is not very safe. We have had to clear cargo in suburbs of rural Italy. We have had to get visa for everybody, our entire 26-member team, 3 hours before the flight. We have had to negotiate with people who are 80 or 90-year-olds and design judges at our events who are not very convinced with our designs. We have had to interacted with CFOs, CEOs across the board. Some meetings went well, some did not go well, and we have had to explain why those meetings did not go well. So it is an entire gamut of experiences. You're going to have bad experiences, you're going to have good experiences. So this is again a very complicated slide. I tried to simplify it, but somehow this is the best I could come up with. So my intent of having this slide to you is to explain to you how Ashwa Racing works. You guys, or the guys who are in college, are going to be within the team. That is somewhere here. The team has 3 basic subsystems: the technical ones, the managerial ones, and the compliance ones. Any company that you work in, and as an engineer, of course, all of you will want to do technical stuff, but you have to understand that any company that you work in has all these segments. And over the last 10 years, we have also tried to channelize Ashwa Racing into fixed silos which have these responsibilities. The team ultimately raises money from the sponsors. There is some contribution from the team itself, but most of the 90-95% of the money comes from sponsors. Since we take company money, we are accountable to the company. That is, we have to produce the car at the end of the year. There is no going back on that. We are not the kind of team which will not produce the car and just go to the event for a Euro trip or somewhere in the US. We will produce a car that will run and at least, I mean, maintain that, make sure the company's reputation is maintained. We are also accountable to the trust, which has been since our day one. We are representing the college as well as the country, so we are accountable by our performances. We are accountable to them. And eventually, the entire management, I mean, we always believe that experience, as it is with companies, there has to be some constant top leadership and some alumni, as well as the steering committee, which is a group of 3 or 4 alumni who handle specific roles. Like I handle mostly business development, non-compliant stuff. Arun handles mostly finance and sponsorship. So we have these things which we make sure those principles are followed. And we are the guys who will make sure whatever you need from the trust, from the alumni or anything, we are the guys who will act as the channel to make sure the interaction happens properly. Was this too complicated? Is there anything you want me to go through? Right, now this is a lot more relevant to you guys. When you are going to join Ashwa Racing, you're going to join in one of these or more than one of these. The capital is in black because When your company is considered in the black, that means it's making profit. And anywhere, money is considered to be the most important thing. Without money, Ashwa Racing will stop. I mean, without money, you can't manufacture anything. You can't send your cargo. You guys understand. I mean, we are in the midst of a long French recession, and that is what inspired us to have a separate capital raising team. We also have engineering, where we have mechanical division. Mechanical includes mechanical and IM, occasionally civil. We have electronics and electrical. We have a separate hybrid project. So we have a completely separate large electronics module, which is very, very dominant in the hybrid project. So, and I'll go to this later in the slides. Electronics and electrical is a very, very big part of Ashwa. Out of like at least 40 to 60% of the core team is going to be electrical and electronics. We have industrial and chemical. Industrial means IM, who take care of most of the production work, the manufacturing and everything. Chemical guy, we need a few because, I mean, at least in my year, when I was managing the radiator and certain other subsystems that required fluids, I figured out that we need a guy who knows what he's doing, and mine was mostly ballpark engineering. So we have a couple of spaces for people from chemical. Last thing, and something which is kind of, I understand after 10 years how important this is computer science. And we are hiring people from computer science, and they are required pretty much everywhere. They are required in the project management division, which manages all the jobs. They are required in the sponsorship division. They are required in the social media division. They are required in the simulation, where they need to do very high-grade programming. They are required anywhere. I mean, anywhere where Ashwa has operations. The management part is again inventories, accounting is compliance, making sure the money is not misappropriated. Human resources is mentioned in a very small thing, but it's actually the leadership. The team captain comes out of the human resources division. Logistics again, I mean, we have around 10 lakhs per year logistics budget. You don't want your car to get lost when you're sending it to the event. And logistics is one of the biggest headaches that you always face. So the logistics guy is actually the most smart and street smart guy. He is the guy who gets the job done. You'll make the car, you send it, your tech guy, your chief engineer will say, I've made the car and I don't care about it anymore. It's the logistics guy's job to take it to the event on time at the cheapest way. So you will say this is not technical, but it is the most important job. It requires understanding of how the car is fixed, how the international processes work, what's a dangerous chemical, what's not a dangerous chemical, and how to package everything. So logistics is also a very, very important thing. And coming to capital, I mean, by capital I mean capital raising. I work in investment banking in Bombay, so I kind of prefer giving it a cool name rather than sponsorship. So it requires directly raising money from sponsors, business intelligence as to which corporate to reach out to for money, marketing, which Shobit does, reaching out to all of you. Corporate development is again giving us ideas that we don't have yet. It's usually we don't appreciate people with very high ideas that are not feasible. That's why it's the last thing. Next one. Okay, I'll keep it very fast. We also need creative people, graphic designers, film directors, presenters, ideators, and most importantly, we need drivers, because most of our race engineers are not very good drivers, and we lose out in dynamics. Very good. If you are a karter, if you are a speed junkie, if you want to be a driver, come and try out. If you just like racing, even then come and try out. You never know who's the driver. Okay, next one. Okay, so this also I'll be very fast. First year, when you guys will be joining, it's basically your indoctrination. You can join a bunch of other clubs. We are not gonna ever impede on what you want to do. But when we select you as a permanent member, which will most likely be in your second semester, it's year 2, but it will happen somewhere in your second semester, you will have to choose Ashwa or what? And you will officially become a full member and support construction of the cars. You'll be cutting pipes, you'll be going on sponsorship drives, you'll be coding for other guys and all other things. Third year, you'll go to USA, which is the Formula Hybrid competition, which is among the most difficult races in the world. Only one team this year qualified for the final race. We came 7th, but out of there were total 25 teams actually. Our unit had 17, but out of the 25 teams, only one team qualified. Even that car caught fire. and got disqualified. So this is amongst the most difficult competitions, and we want our first blood to be drawn in the more difficult competition. And also it's very cold in New Hampshire. So you are going to be completely out of your element. And then comes your final year when you're pretty much going to enjoy combustion or the Formula Student. Italy or Germany events are not that difficult as Formula Hybrid. And you're going to lord over people. You're going to be head of marketing, you're going to be head of sponsorship, you're going to be head of engine, you're going to be head of everything. Unless you hang around for 10 years and be miserable like me. So, okay, no timer. So this is your mission, man. I mean, 4 years you'll have a lot of work. You'll have to overcome doubt, resentment. I'll be giving you, I mean, those of you who make it, I'll be giving you a lot of orders. Deal with it. You'll be asking yourself, why am I doing this? Why would somebody build a race car? You'll be blowing your parents' money, by the way. I just wrote this as a thing because I have blown a lot of my father's money. I have blown a lot of the money that I have earned. And there are people who cannot afford it. And those guys have blown the alumni money. So don't worry, capital will be, as long as you raise it, capital will be at your access to completely waste. We just wasted 45,000 overhauling our engine, which wouldn't have been overhauled had we done it properly the first time. Okay, you'll learn about life, its struggles, and a bunch of other things. Coming out of it, apologies if somebody feels it's a bad word. You'll be the ultimate badass who's done it all. You'll look at it and say, "Acha, really? What did you do? Write a research paper?" Next one. We also have fun. You know, this is a guy riding, doing something that's not very smart. These are people feeling very happy that they, managed to clear a security check. This is one of our best drivers who is imagining an audience. This is me trying to get somebody happy when our cargo got stuck. This is me in 2009 trying to see if I helmet breaks if I do that. Okay, this is again, this is somebody, this is a graph I took from somebody from the US. United States teams have been operating for the past 25 years. They have determined, of course, the money will go down. Your expectations will keep varying because that's how Formula 1 is, right? Whoever, I don't follow Formula 1 because it's become a little boring. And every time I'm near a car, I try to open it and measure it. But it's like you're leading the race and then your engine's over. So this keeps on happening. Your enthusiasm will go, your debt will rise. Most of the debt you guys are not going to pay back. So anyway. And this is the girlfriend, but anyway, I see girlfriend. I'm a very open-minded person. I've been to Europe 7 times. Okay, the way ahead recruitment, Rajat is going to elaborate on this. It starts now, fill the questionnaire. It is, please guys, it's very important you fill the questionnaire, otherwise we will not know you exist. Okay, and then based on your interest in the project, we will conduct the interviews. We will personally interview everybody. You will be talking to me in your final interview. We will personally interview everybody and determine whether the guy should join Ashwa Racing or not. And then we'll evaluate you on technical jobs for a year. Technical jobs does not mean pipe cutting and car building. Technical jobs is different for different branches. I'm out of time, so I won't elaborate on that, and we'll let you know when you're permanently selected next. That's all.
Do you guys have any specific question or any random question that you want to ask right now at this point of time? Because it would be best if you gain clarification right now.
दूसरे सेक्शन स्टार्ट होने वाला है ना?
Right now. Any other questions? Like anything else? I mean, yeah. I remember my recruitment session.
What's the highest speed of the car?
Yeah,
I love that. Do you want to also know the mileage? This is our head of engine, by the way. He's a perfect example of what happens when you spend the entire day designing. And you come quietly and ask me questions.
like close to 100. Moving on. Any other questions? I remember my recruitment, they were like each one almost asked a question. I mean, random stuff.
It's okay, we presented much better.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, there's a question.
None of us know anything about building cars.
okay. I didn't know anything about building a car. Okay? I mean, I'm doing marketing now. I didn't know the M of marketing. Okay. But you have your seniors, you have your super seniors, you have alumni like Siddharth Mandal who will drill you, who will drill the concept of building a car into your head. Okay. Wrong use of word. Okay. So basically, you won't know anything. Okay. I mean, we do realize that all you've done is 11, 12, physics, chemistry, math. That's about it. Okay. But you will learn. I mean, there will always be someone to teach you. Okay.
I've spoken, I get to.
So, anything else? I mean, you will get to learn. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're good at, you would be put there and you would be trained adequately.
Guys need drivers, so how are you gonna use the driver?
Okay. See, driving until now it was an effort. We used to go to grips, see who's the fastest one around the track, and also the most consistent, and he gets to be the driver. Okay. We are also. Do you know Karun Chandra? Yeah. So we're trying to get him on board for driver training. In fact, there's one of our drivers, our senior team, 2015, called Ashwa Racing, who just won the India round of Nissan GT Academy, and now he's training with Karun Chandra at Silverstone in UK. Okay. So you will have people like that training you. I mean, you can't really ask.
Okay, so first year students will be getting the chance.
No, the first year guys, I mean, if you are that good enough, that you're better than say like the current 4th guy who's Anush Chakravarti, drive the car.
What will be the team strength? How many
Okay.
people will be there in the team?
The team strength fluctuates. Okay, like I mean, when the team started out, there were like 8 or 10 people. Okay, now we're close to about 22, like in each year. Okay.
My team had 8 people, out of which 4 actually built the car.
Current third year is 35 members.
They're
So
30
it varies.
So it varies. As long as you're good enough,
You
you
will
will
recruit around 100 of you, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what my target is.
Anything else?
And international FCA teams have 120 members.
121.
Where do we aerospace engineers fit in?
Okay. Very, very good question. Okay. Your car, apart from the engine performance, is something called aerodynamics. Okay. Something called an aero package. Okay. So your car, for it to go fast, you don't only need raw engine power, you also need it to be streamlined. Okay. And when your car is going really fast, you also need something called downforce. Okay, which comes into play. So that's where we need the aeronautical guys. I mean, the aeronautical guys don't only find their application in like building UAVs or MAVs. Okay. Even cars, okay, you do need aeronautical engineers. So they play a huge role.
Who asked that question? Whoever asked that question, go to LinkedIn, check out the people who work for Formula 1 teams. All of them have a degree in aeronautics because at those speeds, your car is a plane on whatever ground. And anything wrong in your car, the air will do what it does to a plane when it's broken. So we have, I mean, I used to personally run CFD. If you do everything properly, our car is going to have wings. And you're going to be testing it at a wind tunnel facility. I hope you know what a wind tunnel is.
So can I tell you about the recruitment? We'll upload a questionnaire on internet on our website. There will be a link on the page. You guys need to fill the page and get a printout of the page in the interview. The interview slots will be told to you on the website itself. It will be uploaded next week. The registration, the questionnaire is the registration basically. So the registration closes next Wednesday from here, 1 week's time. For those people who will not be able to get the link for the paper, for the questionnaire, we'll be putting up registration desks around college so that we take your email address and send you the link so that you can access the questionnaire. Any question? Yeah. Or if you come to us for it, else you can download it from the internet website.
If you are not able to reach us, come to us, pester him, he will make sure you get whatever you want.
The link will be there on the Ashwa Racing website as well as the Ashwa Racing Facebook page.
Or leave us a message on Facebook. We always reply to that.
Yeah.
Has the link already been put up or
It's going to.
It's going to be put up today. Okay, and one more thing, a list of words, 95 to around 105 words will be put up with this questionnaire. Nobody should enter the interview place without knowing the 95 words in and out. And I'm being very strict with this. The first thing that will be asked will be words from the 95 words. If you can't answer them, you can just walk back again.
Guys, that thing is to just test how dedicated you are and how well you can prepare. Whether it's GRE, whether it's GMAT, whether it's a company interview, everybody will test you how much you have prepared on given syllabus. And whether it's engineering itself. The basic purpose of that 95 words is not to test you technically, but to see whether you have come prepared or not. And those 95 words, most of those they would have never heard before.
Yeah, and those are very basics of building the car, so it's for you guys.
And yeah, if you have any queries, find one of us, Facebook us. I mean, like, don't lose out. Okay, I mean, like, you can always contact us, get in touch with us. You send me a Facebook message even at 3 AM in the morning, we'll get a reply.
And all of you have my number. My number was written on your classrooms and get come around for whatever. Yeah.
Where did you say you put up the word list?
According with the questionnaire itself, it will be uploaded on the Facebook page and the website. Interview dates, slots. Each person will have a different slot. Like it will. I think it will go on for 3 to 4 days. For each person, I will allot a time. Any time in the day, you guys have to miss classes for that. That's just 10 minutes of your time, 10 to 15 minutes of your time. That's it. The entire schedule will be up by next week.
So we have to interview about 150 to 200 people every year. So I mean, if you're a hostel, you can also come at 11 PM. We can schedule a slot and come and do an interview. But otherwise, we'll give you definite slots so you can come in 15 minutes, give your interview.
In the questionnaire, there are various questions like your branch, where do you stay and all. The slots will be according to that. Like I won't ask EC people to miss classes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any other questions?
You'll be leaving.
Website is linked to the main RT website or is it a separate?
It'll be a separate website called ashwaracing.com. Or just find us on Facebook. Okay. So guys, there's a pleasure talking to you guys. Okay. You guys are the best college. Come be a part of the best team. Okay. And if you have any questions, catch hold of one of us. We'll be happy to help you at any point in time. And if you have any specific queries, write them to us on Facebook or just come drop in the workshop at any given point of time. We will help you out. So if there's anything else I'd like to address, otherwise you guys can carry on and we'll give you the requisite details of the link and the questionnaire and everything.
Just one thing, by the show of hands, how many ComSci people?
Computer science.
Information science.
Yeah,
Information
science.
science.
And IS.
Instrumentation.
Mech.
Right. Electrical. That's aerobics. Great. Electrical.
Electrical.
Oh, this one. No, I was just checking.
चलो ठीक है बहुत लोग वेट कर रहे हैं
Okay.
You reach out to us.